Hi, I'm Rujuta Diwekar and my latest book is called Don't Lose Out, Work Out, and it will be out soon by end of Feb, and it actually talks about don't sit and move around much more. That's the whole theme of this book. See, research has proved that sitting is an independent risk factor to lifestyle diseases, be it obesity or heart diseases, diabetes. It's a single most, like I said, it's an independent risk factor, just like the way we would identify smoking earlier. So maybe you are working out and in a happy relationship and you make a lot of money and you like the job that you're doing, but if you're smoking, then you are at a risk of developing a whole lot of diseases. Same goes for sitting. If you have all the good things in life, but if you spend most of your time just sitting on a chair and sitting in the car and sitting in the lounge and sitting watching a movie, then you are at a risk of developing obesity, heart diseases, and the whole spectrum of lifestyle diseases. Now, get up every time. For all those people who have to sit, just move around much more. I think in India we probably move the least, because you can just ring a bell or call out to your wife or call out to your boy or servant for pani leke aao, darwaza kholo. We get up for almost nothing except for when we are not able to keep sitting and we just have to use the loo. I think that's the only time that we really take a break and get up is for a pee break. But if we just make small changes to our life, like getting up, going and getting that glass of water every single time, keeping our phone a little away from us and getting up and going and reaching out for that phone, answering the doorbell, maybe just walking to our friend's place and the mall versus constantly driving. Those small changes will make a difference, and then of course complement that with at least about 150 minutes of exercise per week. That's what the book tells you. Well, the book basically talks about the science of exercise, because we don't really think that exercise is a science. We think only chemistry, biology and physics is a science. So A, it talks about the science of exercise. B, it talks about yoga, weight training and cardio in detail, because those are the most popular forms of exercise. Then it covers fads, facts, and on each one of these aspects. And then of course it talks about all of the myths, which is if I just keep doing crunches I will lose weight, if I do 100 Surya Namaskars I will lose weight, if I just run I will lose weight, if I weight train I will get very bulky and muscular. So it addresses all those myths too. And then it talks about the 4 principles of exercise, they're called STAR. So stimulate, adapt, recover and regular. Those are the 4 principles in a nutshell. And it teaches you how to use these 4 principles to develop your own exercise plan. It is a science that is well established and recognized for a very long time, especially in the Indian culture. If you just look at Bharatnatyam has something called as adavus, which are dance steps, and these adavus are taught in a progressive manner to a new dancer, and the manner in which they are taught, or the order in which they are taught, is all orally transmitted. Sometime in 1950, there was a researcher who studied how to best train Olympians, and then he came up with this concept called periodization. Periodization talks about how to stimulate one area of your body, which is called as kinesthetic intelligence, that if you worked on the legs, maybe later on you move to your hands. If you worked on strength, then you need to work on stamina. Don't just keep working on your speed all the time, or don't just keep working on your strength all the time, then you will burn out. And this model called periodization is what is one of the big aspects of exercise science, but within the Indian culture it has always existed. So when it comes to exercise science, there are 2 realities. It has always been there, A, and the other reality is that it's only from maybe the early 1930s, 1950s that it actually started getting recognized as a proper science that could be used for better health of human beings. And see, the big reality is that we simply don't use that science when we join the gym or when we just wear our shoes and go out for a walk. So it's, I guess, time to use science to our benefit. I think you need to maintain a fine balance between exercise, and just like we need to maintain a fine balance in every aspect of our life, when to eat, where to stop eating, how much to work, when to sleep, when to wake up. I guess even with exercise, one needs to know how much of time to dedicate to weight training or cardio or to yoga. We can't overdo or overtrain just one of these aspects. I guess exercise, if it's not doable, then it's just not worth doing, because it has to be both doable and sustainable. And it has to take into consideration all the constraints that we have, be it the constraints of motivation, time, logistics, or simply our inclination. Having said that, it's of paramount importance that each one of us exercises, simply because each one of us has a body, and as long as we have a human body is meant for constant activity. So if we are not in a position to do constant activity, then we need to do an activity of at least 150 minutes a week, which is, I guess, about half an hour every day, which is easy to do and it is worth doing. So we must exercise because out of that sense of responsibility, and not out of a temptation of a result, not for that six pack, not to fit into some kind of a dress, because I guess each one of us now knows that no matter what we achieve in life, we are not really happy because we got there, but it's the journey which makes it worthwhile. So exercise is that journey, not a destination.